Live. You're listening to with Men, the podcast.
This is Men, the podcast. And we are back. This year we've been saying we're back a lot.
We're back.
Like today we're back. It's been long, man.
Yeah.
It's been long. But mambo yalikuwa ni mengi sana kwa sababu I think for the past 3 months Nadia, I've been working Monday to Sunday. Monday to Sunday. Kuna vitu ambavyo tulikuwa tunajaribu kumalizana navyo, kwa hiyo yani it was hectic. We couldn't even get time to record. Lakini vile nipa muda to take time off mwenyewe na kuweza,
Yes.
you know, care for my mental health. So,
Exactly.
you know. But we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Unapologetically back.
Yes, like, you know, the whole Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, I'll be back. This is us saying we are back. Karibu sana kwenye episode nyingine ya Men, the podcast. Yes, @Men the podcast on Twitter, @Men the podcast on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel, so go and subscribe. Ni hivyo @Men the podcast. I think link inapita hapo chini ya kuelezea au that banner thing that does banner for those someone wanaangalia is behind the scene guy. He's making us all look good. But make sure that banner thing inapita kuelezea our YouTube
How
channel.
to find us.
How to find us, So go subscribe, share, and spread the word about us. But we are back in this Men, the podcast. What we do, tunafanya conversation kuhusiana na everything men, lakini focus yetu zaidi iko kwenye swala zima la mental health. Mimi naitwa Michael Baruti. Nadia is here with us.
Yes.
Ukitaka kumpata Nadia ni @mindmatterstz on Twitter na @mindmatterstz on Instagram. There's the link kwenye bio. Itakupeleka kwenye website yake and then you can book a session na kama unahitaji kuzungumza naye zaidi na just if you need to speak to somebody, just pay her for it. Yani it's not going to be for free. She went to school for it, guys. Ni professional. Kama unalipa madaktari, mlipe na Nadia pia, But she's the best in the business and she's our own resident psychologist. So yeah, it's always good to have you around, man.
Yes, I'm happy we're back.
Yes, we are. You've been good though.
I've been good. I've been great.
You've been great.
I think much needed mental health break that we took. Yeah.
You want to talk
It served
about
us well.
Oh, this is the part about to natural.
Hey, this is the part where we encourage you when you need to take a mental health break, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it. I wanted to add something so just do it. Lakini kakudoi itakuwa tangazo. Sadick. My guy. How are you, man?
I'm good. I think you guys deserve a round of applause for being back. Just a quick.
You see, this is kind of guest about our program. You just go with the flow.
You guys deserve one of those.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate it, my guy. But yeah, Sadick, karibu sana, my guy.
Thank you so much, man.
It's been a minute. Tulifanya naye kuna episode tulifanya. I forgot the title of that episode.
Mchekeshaji.
Mchekeshaji. That was 2019.
2019.
Oh wow, we did an episode in 2019, man.
Andy, when you remind me of that time that we did the episode,
Yeah.
I remember like back then I was driving my crusty IST, always dusty, never.
I didn't.
I was going through it.
Now that you burn it, I'm like, you're too big to fit in that car. But hey. But yeah, this is 2024, man. It's been 5 years.
It has,
and a lot has happened.
A lot
You
has
become a
happened.
father.
Yeah. the way Michael just clapped, congratulations. Bro, I know the struggle.
All I'm saying is, kama you're a man, now you're a dad. Now, you are involved there. Baba ambaye uko
Sio tu mshua.
Sio mshua. Kwa baba ambaye uko involved kwenye maisha ya mtoto wako. It's a full-time job.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
It's a full-time job.
Yani, right now.
Not taking anything away from mothers.
True.
But not taking anything away from mothers. But then podcast men. So it is about men. Definitely biased.
Yeah.
Because the last thing they want to
You are biased.
you can buy.
9 months. Breastfeeding.
Try it.
We know we can't do it.
So
We don't want to.
So we're not to take anything away from mothers. But it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. And then it comes with a lot of learnings. And for first time fathers, this is why we actually going to have this conversation. So me and Sadick, before I have a gym, we used to bump into each other.
Before you have a gym.
Before I have a gym now. I'm a gym attack, and now he's into MMA and all this kind of stuff. And for me, I'm like, dude, it's fair enough na Vyuma. Now you gotta do MMA now. But we used to
kuna kina Derek siku hizi. That's all I'm saying. Kuna watu wanaitwa Derek.
But so waga tunakutana pale gym and we speak a lot about it, especially being fathers, kama tunalea watoto wa siku hizi na the generation and nini. So it was we always had a very interesting conversation. For me, I was like, you know what, I think this is the kind of talk that we should actually put on the pod. Na kuizungumzia na kuweza kuiunpack in detail kabisa, right? So this is the essence of us having this guy here na kuzungumza from a man's perspective, a first-time father, and all the learnings that has come with it. So my first question to you is, how old is the child?
My kid is about a year and 4 months now.
A year and 4.
Yeah, it's a year and
Boy
4
or
months
girl?
now. Boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
I have 2 girls.
Yeah.
I moja na miaka 8, mwingine she's 5.
Okay. But I am hoping that the second one is a girl. Because low key, I was hoping that first one was going to be a girl. Low key, like that was my, like, yes, if it's a girl, awesome. But yeah.
You need to be a boy dad first.
Ngoja upite kwenye mchakato.
Alafu ndo.
Yeah. So, a year and 4 months.
Yeah, it's a year and 4 months now.
How was that experience?
It's been very hectic, It's been very hectic. Some of the experience, I believe the experience starts happening when your partner is pregnant. That's when it starts. There's a whole thing that happens there about, especially for first timers. There's that thing that happens of how do you handle a pregnant woman?
Yeah.
Not every man is equipped to handle a pregnant woman.
No, I think a lot of men are not equipped.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot.
That's a whole process.
I struggle some.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will say also, I struggled a lot. Even looking back now, I'm like, there's so many things I could have done better. And there's so many things that actually didn't need that much effort you were to do rocket science to make it happen. No. It was just more things that it was just more sacrifice. Like if you just add a little bit more sacrifice, it would have made everything so much better, But I'm glad we got through that process, Of course, second time now you've learned you do it better if you get to a second time.
Yeah.
That was a very hectic process. We, the hospital was hectic. All of that is because it's first time. Everything's new. Everything is, oh my God, what if this happens? What if that happens? Yeah. But yeah, he's healthy, bro. This man came out, I think he was about 3 kgs, 3.6, 3.8 kgs. Healthy, big baby, bro. Healthy little guy, taller than average, energetic. Right now, my son does not know how to move by just walking.
Yep.
He just doesn't know how to do. Yes, everything is
my
oh my God.
My 5-year-old hops.
Yeah.
Yani ukimwambia go bring me some water, anatoka anarukaruka. And in my mind I'm like, what happened to work?
What happened to
work? Like, yani she literally hops. Huyo mdogo. Mkubwa she runs mpaka like.
Yeah.
Like finally I'm like, why can't you just walk?
My knees are jealous. Just just do.
They're triggering their brain wiring. All of that is good for them.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it is. Apparently all of that play, nini, all of that is
stimulate the development of the brain.
Development of the brain, which is so hectic.
Yeah. So this is my thing for you. Let's take back to the pregnancy, right? And now looking at it in hindsight, right? Right now, naweza nikagundua au nikawa very confident kuongea kwamba why maybe there was a little bit of I wouldn't say it's a hustle, but why I struggled, right? For me, I think for me, maisha yangu yaliendelea. Like when she was pregnant, maybe I was still going out. The moment of a little bit about sacrifice, I got it because of course with the second one it was different because now we're talking.
Learned a little bit.
I've learned a little bit. Like with the first child, maybe it's just, okay, you're gonna be alright. I mean, what are you pregnant? So, okay.
Baby's not going anywhere.
Lakini what I struggle to understand is the mental toll that she was going through. Right?
Mental, physical.
Yeah, mental and physical. And for me, it was more like, why are you complaining about so and so?
Sure.
But it took a while. Na mimi kuweza grasp the concept like saying, oh my God.
The changes that she's going
Because
through.
mimi mambo yalikuwa yanaenda. And mimi I was...
Even their brain is changing.
Everything is just...
The brain is changing. So I struggled sana. Na struggle kubwa, it was me not being able to understand.
Yes.
And feel like, what is it that I'm doing wrong?
You can't comprehend.
I couldn't comprehend it.
It was not making logical sense.
Yeah, it does not make logical sense. Lakini, all I need, kama ningechukua muda, and this is before we did the podcast, so understanding
before enlightenment.
Yeah, before enlightenment. So even understanding younger bit, it was slightly different then, right? Lakini, now looking back, and after when we had the second child, before we even got the second child, me and now we had to have a talk. She was like, look, when I was pregnant with Gianna, being the firstborn, a lot of things that are happening ambavyo I wasn't happy with, and they kind of didn't make sense. And for me, I was like, but what was wrong with that? You get it?
Which for me, I feel like that conversation is coming. Yeah. Because, like, some couples like to give a gap between the first and the second child, let the Kuwa starts talking. Okay, this one is fine. Let's now consider. And I feel like that conversation is coming, and I've been kind of trying to arm myself in the sense, okay, just fix it in your head, so that when you sit down, you're kind of an improved version of yourself, based on just you looking back perspective and going, yeah, that was messed up. Okay, I could have done better there. I could have, and then I can bring that to the table. So as a man, I've been trying to do that in my head. So by the time we have that conversation, I'm like, okay, fine. I kind of, by a certain percentage now, have more of an understanding of where you're coming from.
I mean, the last thing I told you, you want to be told about you ain't shit.
Bro.
Ukweli ni kwamba ulijingua. And a lot of
and that's also okay to acknowledge that I knew nothing. Yeah, what you're saying, yes.
Challenge kwa wanaume kwamba you cannot tell me any shit wakati on the other hand I thought I was doing it right.
Yeah.
I thought I was like my best.
But that's also important, like for women to also acknowledge kwamba yes, you're going through the physical, psychological, mental, emotional changes. Lakini na mwenzio, yes, it's not going through the same, but they're also going through it with you in their own way.
Na kuna kitu mtu aliniambia kwamba, and I know kuna kipindi tulifanya episode moja na Abu Msuya and oh my God, I forgot the guy's name. Mungu wangu. We'll edit that part out. It's gonna kill me. But we talked about it. Na tukasema kuna kitu ambacho wengi hatukizungumzii ni struggle ambao wanaume wanapitia, lakini men don't talk about it. Especially when it comes to being first and father. Because but maybe I remember when we were expecting the first child, kulikuwa kuna a lot of support from my wife because my mother-in-law was there.
Oh yeah.
My sister-in-laws hawakai mbali. So there was all
a community.
There was the community for her, right? Na hawa ni watu ambao tayari walikuwa na watoto. So wenyewe they knew how to
go about,
Lakini mimi, I never got that.
Yeah.
I never got that.
Men don't get that.
It's like
you're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own. Find your way. And then pia mtoto akishakuja, okay, that's one. Now, baada ya hapo, it's like when the child was born, my wife was a natural. She was a natural how to take care of the child. Mimi nikibeba mtoto nilikuwa nakuwa stiff. Nikibeba mtoto, I don't move because babu I'm like, hey.
You break it. Kama yai.
If I drop this child.
And mind you, mimi ni mtu ambaye nilikuwa si baby watoto wadogo. Kabisa. Nilikuwa naogopa sana. Hata nikienda kutembea mtu mbaya nasema,
gaga.
That's it. I don't want to touch the baby because babu unaona kama it's ni mdogo sana, too delicate. And my mom was like, you're gonna get yours, itabidi ubebe. So when I got my first child, hata kubeba nilikuwa nikibeba mtoto nikaa hivi, utanikuta hapa now
just moving eyes.
You get it?
Inabidi unavaa ile helmet ile ina drinks.
But then it shows how unprepared men are about this thing. Was it the same experience for you?
But isn't that, I feel like that's most things with us in life. Because I don't know, this is my perspective. Because I feel like a boy child, Sawa, in the household, doesn't get prepared because he's a boy. Like, we're expected to just be okay and know how to do something. You know, yes, you know, I'm stuck you you'll be fine. And you know. And even the teachings we get, some of the times we just get, you know, these yombas, kakas, nani. Like it's not the, like tunafundishwa tu vile vitu just passed on. You know, so we don't really get that overall kind of that we're giving you this for this specific task that you're going to face because of A, B, and C, you know. But for me, with the first child, it was kind of reversed with my wife because she had a C-section. So, you know, with women after that whole thing's like 2 weeks, bed rest, nanini, no movement and all that. And then for me, I was always that guy who was always like, you know, I can't wait to have a family. I can't wait to have a child, and this is great and all that. Because my trauma coming from divorced parents I didn't grow up in a household where complete, you know, mom, dad, you know, I didn't have that.
So, I'm going to make it right for you.
Yes, you know, so me, it was more of like that thing where you're trying to fix what you didn't have, so you run towards it, you know, which also, I know, see a psychiatrist.
See Nadia.
Yeah, and just go see Nadia, bro. Just see somebody.
Yeah.
Because, just on a tangent, I was reading something the other day, and then this person just started listed all these things that I thought were normal, but then they were like, if you experience this, see a psychiatrist. If you experience this, see a psychiatrist. And some of them were not even like, Stu, you were beaten, Stu, you needed. No, just regular things. But then you're like, if you see a psychiatrist, you'd find a lot of underlying things that, you know. So for me, and she was always like, oh, you're such a natural, you know how to carry him, you know how to change a diaper, nanini. Because yes, as you know, growing up, I was very fond of babies, and kids just naturally found me like, oh, cool, you know, kaka or whatever. So it was easy for me to deal with kids. So when I had my own, at first it did feel like, oh my God, I'm doing it. You know, nobody taught me this, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm changing diapers, milk, this, that, you know. And it was also nice for her to be like, okay, I can kind of get a little rest in recovery, knowing my partner's got this, you know. But it flips at some point because things get more real, you know. Child is growing.
The honeymoon phase.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase. You know, more responsibility. And then you also have to find that balance with work and family and home and everything.
And your relationship.
And it's not even good there.
Nadia.
And that.
But let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's talk about it.
You have to juggle all those things, you know? And there are times where you kind of find... you find things and you say, how do I balance, you know, being a dad, being a husband, being at work, being somebody who runs the household. There's a lot of things that you have to balance all in once, you know. But it was nice that, and also for us, we didn't have a community. We did not have a community to say that, like, you know, my wife's side, maybe mom is there. Or, I think her mom was there a lot. Yes, her mom was there a lot. But we never had that sense of community. My wife didn't have that. You know that thing that, and I don't know about other cultures, like, you know, Swahili, we have that when the child is born, the wife goes home.
Arobaini.
Yes, arobaini, yes. She didn't have that. She was at home. So I'm there. You know what I mean?
It was a community of the two.
It's just me and her, and we're tackling this thing. So, and also for the fact that we made it through that process. Oh my goodness. Like, we should have just given each other a tap on the back. Just go, bro, we made it through this part. You know?
I think that is the toughest part. Nadia, is there a better way of adapting? I mean, for men. Because and I'm saying this because sababu now I totally agree with what Sadick said. Kwamba growing up, I don't remember me being told, look after that baby. But mpaka leo kuna picha ya my sister ananibeba mimi. I think I was 2 or 3. And my sister loves to embarrass me. Every year on my birthday, that's the picture I post. Every year.
Share this
it's like we don't have any other memories. Every year. Dada Sig, I love you, but God, every year. And I share the picture and I post, and I love it. It's good, but tukija kwenye context ni kwamba she has been toka mdogo yani
she got the nurturing.
She got the nurturing. But I don't remember me growing up. I mean, come on, nilikuwa naambia tu kwamba watoto tulikuwa naogopa kubeba. So clearly it's not something ambacho nani. Is there better way ambao wanaume wanaweza kujifunza kuadapt?
Well,
au ndio tupambane na hali zetu?
Hapana kwa kweli. Lakini ndio, yes and no. So kizuri ni kwamba ukiangalia a lot of men are logical creatures.
Yeah.
They are problem solvers. Right? And so I think that hicho ndio kimewasaidia wanaume sana. Despite getting the experience, getting the mafunzo, si ndio? You're still able to, you find the way. It's like you're in this dark room, but you are managing to walk through and not like kill yourself along the way. Utajigonga nini, all of that. Right? Lakini sasa, when it comes to, that's men adapting. Just by the way. Kwa sababu you are handed this situation, now you have to find a way. Wengine wanashindwa ku problem solve in a healthy, effective manner. Wengine wanaona kabisa wewe mtoto, mama, I will earn, I will bring, make sure you are provided for. Provider, protector, me, done.
The rest is
you take care of the kids, right? And I'm saying it's not healthy because the child anahitajia both, mama na baba. Yani parenting is 2 people, not 1. But that's also problem solving because you're in a situation, huna prior template of this is how you have to navigate. Na mnajifunza, mmepata templates, but you're getting templates from people just problem solving in the dark as well. Uwe akosea hivi, uwe akisomoa vile, yani you don't know which one is right, which one is wrong. Kwa sababu ultimately also, all the stories you hear, mama yangu ndo amesacrifice, mama ndo kila kitu, mama amenifanyia hivi, mama ndo anipenda. I'm sure hata nyie wenyewe mkikaa in your conversations you speak more about mama yangu alifanya hivi, but now as fathers you can appreciate baba yangu flip man namuelewa, right? So you're coming from, those are the templates you're learning, and you ndo unajifunza from the other men. That's what you're learning, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between. And you're doing the best you can with what you have. So I think ni muhimu kwanza kwa wanaume, all the fathers, just to kind of have compassion. Kwamba I am doing the best with what I have. I'm doing the best with what I know. Even if my wife anambia I am being a shitty partner, shitty husband, shitty dad.
This is what I'm equipped with.
Seme, you know what? I hear you, but I also have compassion for me because I didn't know any better. I don't know.
What you've just said, imekupa extra points for men. What you just said, What you just said,
Ni muhimu. I think we are lacking compassion for ourselves. And we are lacking compassion for others. Ni kitu cha muhimu kusema kwamba sijui, and to just feel compassion for that part.
I feel like a lot of times kuna a lot of expectation ambazo zinawekwa kwa wanaume, especially modern men. Wazee wetu wa zamani, they were doing the bare minimum.
Umekula, umevaa, umelala, sawa.
Provide, protect.
You are done.
Period. You know, sasa sisi hapa ambao sasa hivi tunajifanya tuko progressive, you know, we care about mental health, and you want to be involved, want to be part of the child's life na vitu kama hivyo. We like mtu anafanya intention comes, I want to be present. So because of that, it's not a bad thing, by the way.
No,
it is the right thing.
Lakini
it has come with I feel like it has come with a lot of expectation now. Kwamba you should be as good as a dad should be as good as a mom. At least from my perspective.
Yeah.
Now we are failing to understand kwamba kila mzazi ana role yake. Like just, I don't know if we can say Mungu, or we can say science, or we can say that's just the universe. Lakini mwanamke akisha beba mimba, anatomically, physiologically, psychologically, mentally, she's experiencing changes. Mwili wake unabadilika kumwandaa meet all the needs of this creature that is growing inside her. Yani her brain is also hardwiring, shifting.
Her alchemy becomes different.
Kuwa alert na mahitaji ya hichi kiumbe ambacho anakileta duniani. Right? For a man, also brain changes are occurring, but they are different. Yani ile protector energy, the anti, it's upped. Now it's even more. Right? But the role ya baba is, mama is the nurturer, caregiver, you know, the softer. Mama has to do the soft. And ndo maana ukiona naturally, baba anakuwa disciplinary, mama ndo anakubembeleza. Because that, hiyo inaendana na anatomically what's happening in your brain, the role that your body is preparing you for. Na zote mbili ni muhimu. Lakini when we do it unconsciously, ndo hiyo sasa we can go overboard with the wall and the discipline and just turn. Because there needs to be that balance.
Also the other side as well.
Too nurturing mpaka unaanza kumlemaza mtoto, yani unamharibu.
I've seen friends, family members who were raised by single mothers who I feel that they were just overly too loved. Because now you were too loved.
My God, such a thing as too loved.
You would think that cannot be wrong.
Bro, it's too much of anything is bad.
As a man, especially living in the community that we live in, Ambayo Tanzania, when you take the social structures, you need work, everything, and put it all together, and you were raised by a mother or a woman who was a guardian, whatever, but they overly loved you and protected you and whatnot, bro, you will grow up and find yourself being somebody who just, what's the word, like, who can't, not cope, but like,
becomes challenging.
Yeah, and it's like sustainability. To sustain yourself as a man becomes challenging because you're not equipped with that sternness of...
because the world is not just going to nurture you and be soft and loving.
Sasa wana wenga tukavia sifunzwa na mamae atafunzwa na ulimwengu. Sasa bora ufunzwe na mama kuliko ulimwengu.
Because ulimwengu is rude. You need that.
I don't care.
Like Nadia said, you need that second side where you have a man in your life who will show you, don't do that. Do it like this because of this. Ndo zile vi experience unavyopokea vya kimtumba that come across, but they help along the way.
They do.
But even though some of it is toxic. A lot of it is toxic. That you get handed that man box.
All the trauma in there.
You just have to go through and find what fits you, and you wear it, and you move on as a man.
And sometimes we don't all do that. We just take the first jacket that is on top there and we wear it. So if it is a trauma jacket, that is the one that we are perpetuating. You're lucky if you pick one that is kidogo ina kiraka lakini it's good.
Sadick, there's something you said ambacho nimekuwa nakiwaza. You said you growing up yani wazazi walitengana.
Yes.
Right? So because of that, your idea ya kuwa baba ni kwamba probably my child won't go through what I went through.
Definitely.
Well, things happen. It's not like it's your fault or anything. You know, things happen. Lakini Nadia usually anasema in the previous podcast, alikuwa anaongea anasema kwamba sometimes you focus so much on what you don't want to be that you become that.
Kabisa.
Because you focus so much on what you don't want. You should be proud of me. But point is, you focus so much on what you don't want to be that you forget to say what you want to be. What's your take on that concept? Well, in relation to you being a father now.
Yes.
It's hectic because and also life is lifing. Life will never stop lifing. And one thing also I always never this lesson never stops for me, which is never say never. And never say never goes away. Just never say never.
That is the highest level of maturity right now.
Yeah, bro.
Never said can never happen to me.
Never say that, bro. Because I'm always like, I want to be this. I don't want to be that. And then you come to experience, because knowing is one thing and experiencing is another thing. You can think you know something and you're like, yes, I'm 100% sure about it. And then you experience it and you're like, that is not what I thought it would be. Because you thought, but you never experienced. So, you have these thoughts and these ideas going into these spaces where you say, I want to be in that space. But you've never been there. You just have the thoughts and ideas and desires and emotions that spark you to go there. And then when you get into that space, and it can be anything, it can be work, it could be life, it could be marriage, it could be anything. When you get into that space and then you experience, and then unajikuta, some of the things that you held on to for so long, you're like, I don't want to hold on to this anymore. This is not what I didn't, expect it to be this. And then there's also that battle of letting go of those things. Like, I come from a household where my parents were divorced. I was 7 years old at the time, So that means the rest of your life, you're either huku, kwa baba, or in between, or whatever the case is. So, and one of the never say nevers for me was, I will get married and I never want to get a divorce. Na nini. And then you get married. Then you realize kwamba in marriage, huyo mtu ambaye umeoana naye ni mtu pia.
Yes.
They're a person. They have their desires. They have also their growth and what they want to achieve.
Hakuna sehemu inayotoa proper character development kama ndoa.
And I've always had that idea of ya kwamba, for me, growth only comes from, because like, I believe we live in a relative world. Kwamba you only exist relative to something else.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Tall is only tall because there's short. So the only place you can experience yourself, wewe na kujijua wewe kama wewe na grow and understand yourself, is in a relationship with something. It could be a place, but there's a place that you go to that, oh my God, you see yourself different, you experience things differently, or person, or it has to be in a relationship with something. So kama ulivyosema, when you're in a marriage, bro, you learn so much about yourself. And you also have to be open to sit down with yourself and be like Sadick, did you see that? Like, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see you? Umejiona how you reacted? Umejiona how you dealt with that situation? Now, is that you?
That is you.
So you get into those places and you understand so many things, and you're like, kweli, never say never. Things, until you experience them, you'll never know.
You'll never know. And this is why I always say kwamba at least for me, I'm at the phase of my life ambayo you take things for what they are. Ulichoongea ni kwamba yes, we've had, like life is life. Life is life. And I know we're talking about parenthood and being a first-time parent, and we've moved off tangent a little bit, but this is why we love this podcast. Is I'm at the phase ambayo unajua kwamba you can only deal with what you can control.
Kabisa.
And then unagundua kwamba a lot of other things are out of your control. So you can only do what you can do.
You cannot do what you cannot do.
You cannot,
and you have to come to terms with it.
You have to come to terms with that.
Can't do that, and it's okay.
100%. 100%.
Get a consultant. Outsource.
Outsource. As a man, you have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable. With vitu ambavyo unaweza kucontrol na vitu ambavyo hauwezi kucontrol. And there's no shame in the game for that. Yani kubali kwamba hiki, I would love to take care of it, but it's out of my control. I can't, and it's okay.
It's fine.
It is completely.
It doesn't make me less of a man.
It doesn't make you less of a man. Right? It doesn't. So I think the biggest struggle, well, coming back to each conversation tunazungumzia, I think a lot of times struggle tunayokuwa nao ni kwamba, at least the struggle that I had, ni kwamba, yes, I wanted to be a perfect father, I wanted to be a perfect partner. Also, I wanted to be, I wanted to be mfanyakazi mzuri ofisini, so I had to show up on time. I wanted to be a very good friend to my guys, I wanted to be an amazing son to my mom, I wanted to be an amazing brother to my siblings. And then it's I'm only one person.
You're only one person. You can only do so much.
You can only do so much. it took a while kuja kukubali hicho kitu na kuja na kukubali na ukweli kwamba Michael, come on man.
And at the same time, when you're trying to do that, you must also face the world. The world doesn't let you be like, oh, do that and then we are waiting. Yeah, we'll be here. Handle that and handle the world as well.
Yes, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. So you have to, as a man, you have to come to terms with hicho kitu na to embrace it. Na kujua, you know what? It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. You can only be the best that you can be.
You can only do so much at some point.
You can only do so much at some point.
And along all of that,
nowhere
are you mentioning I need to be this to me. For me.
Do you, yani?
Nowhere do you feature.
And as men, I feel like we get glimpse of moments where that happens and we have our own solo breakdown in a corner and then come back to life. But it shouldn't be that.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a
have
breakdown
to culminate. Yani, fike bottleneck, and then you have to find the corner and blow it. You know, we go to the bar, and you know, it shouldn't get to that.
Kuna colleague nafanya kazi, you call based of Nigeria. So nje. So alikuwa mpata mtoto, right? First time dad na nini. Lakini kwa there was something that's happened here. He had to travel kuja hapa headquarter yetu. So nimekutana come, hey man, how are you? Congratulations being a dad. You know, how your wife and kid, they're good. And come, oh, you miss home. I come, I miss home. You miss your kid. I'm like, no, I don't. And it has nothing to do with me not loving the child.
Yes.
But Michael, this is the moment ambayo nalala
I need a break.
Yep. Yani, this is the moment ambayo nipo huku nalala vizuri. Naamka muda naotaka. You know. And actually, watu wananiuliza, how are you? But back home, anakwambia back home, the moment you leave the hospital, again, not take anything away from the women, but the last thing I want to kuja kuambia, you guys mnafanya competition. No. We are not. We tunaongea to experience ya wanaume. Anakwambia Michael, toka tumeingia hospitali, so I had to take care of the bills. To make
Nobody
sure
stops you and asks you, bro, how are you doing through this
Nobody
process?
does. So I remember this the other day, me and Sadick met at the gym, and I'm like, my guy, how you doing? I was like, what you mean? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, no,
Are
genuinely.
you trying to trap me?
No, but I was like, no, genuinely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
My wife sent you?
Because nobody stops and ask a man kwamba how are you? And this is something ambacho nataka watu wafahamu kwamba wakati mtoto akiwa amezaliwa kuna lot of struggle ambazo wanaume wanapitia. Moja ni struggle ya ku make sure kwamba everything needed
is provided.
It's provided. Now, tunajua mtoto sio surprise. You know, you have all night. You have all night to prepare. Lakini kumbuka 9 months ya prepare sio kwamba maisha yako yote yanasimama na una focus kwa mtoto.
That's what I mean. The world doesn't stop.
Katika hiyo miezi 9 bado kodi ulipe.
Yes.
Bado kazi ziende. Images zikitokea nyumbani udili nazo. So it doesn't stop. Sio kwamba sasa kwa mtoto ni miezi 9, sasa kila kitu ninachofanya is towards that. You know, mambo mengine yanaendelea. Kwa hiyo nao mama anapojifungua, the first pressure ya mwanaume is to make sure kwamba everything is sorted.
Everything has to be
kila kitu kinachotakiwa kiwepo. And now Mungu amesaidia, mmetoka salama, mkifika home now kuna vitu ambavyo vinahitajika viwepo nyumbani. Ukiachana the bills za hospital. Lakini kama unatumia bima ya afya, shukuriwe Mungu, inakuondolea mambo mengi. Lakini kama utumii ni gharama. Na sio watu wote na bima za afya. Now mkishafika nyumbani zinaanza sasa zile demand za vitu ambavyo vinahitajika nyumbani. From the food ya mama inabidi badilike, from diapers, zamani watu walikuwa wanachukua nepi, siku hizi tunaita
I never
diaper.
looked at diapers like contraband before until I bro. I was like, this is sacred. You understand how precious this is?
So it all comes with that. And then kuna watu ambao wakija kumwangalia mtoto, because we're an African family, African culture.
Still, nobody looks at you and
Nobody
like, how
does.
you doing, bro?
Nobody comes. Actually, wageni wakija, it's your duty to entertain them kwa sababu most of the time mama anakuwa amechoka.
Mama is also recovering.
Mama is also recovering, amechoka. So it's your duty as a man to entertain them, but nobody.
And mind you, there's always going to be that tumekuja kumwona mama na mtoto.
Not baba. Never.
I mean, nobody said we came to see dad, mama na mtoto.
Never.
Never. Tumekuja kumwona mama na
Umepita
mtoto.
C-section. Umepita C-section. Did you push the baby?
Ni hatari sana.
Did you push the baby? Umepita kwenye C-section. So what should we care about you?
You did not go through that for 9 months.
You did not go through that. So,
Didn't breastfeed.
And again, rightly so.
Rightly, kabisa.
Rightly so. But then kuna concept kwamba you have to think about what a man is going through during that time. It's a lot. I know a lot of people ambao kipindi hicho mtu anakupigia simu, mwanangu Michael, hebu nishie laki moja.
And people forget like that is a mental and an emotional strain.
Yeah.
Sometimes even physical.
Yeah.
Ndo yale tu ambayo tunasema ni watoto wa kiume. Like we should be able to handle. But it does not take away from the fact that it is affecting that person. You know what I mean? It is hata kama umeumwa malaria mara 100, ukiumwa mara 101, bado symptom ni zile na utapata maumivu yale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Na inawezekana uko fully prepared.
Kabisa.
Lakini things happen.
Unakula shots nini? Lakini bado kaipata.
Things happen, you know. So and again, as a community, sio kitu ambacho tunazungumza kabisa.
We don't.
But I know a lot of fathers ambao yani first time fathers ambao they're like, we don't know how to do this.
And some men will, you know, you ask them, what a VP house father? They also don't realize that you can talk about the struggles you're going through. Yeah. Don't go, fresh, wife, you go poa dogo nini. But meanwhile, you're going through it internally.
Because, so this is the part ambayo unaona you cannot complain kwa sababu whatever you're going through, mama is going through worse.
But ni muhimu kukumbuka, unajua there is what we call peripartum depression or peripartum anxiety.
What is that?
I wanted to say induced. But usually that's anxiety or depression that comes as a result of the changes in the hormones in your body, and the fact that you're carrying a child. What we're going to feel, it's only in mothers who are carrying the kids, but also through the research, and it's also in like our diagnostic templates. Hata wanaume pia wanaweza wakapitia peripartum or postpartum anxiety or depression. Because as I was saying, yes, the woman is going through physical, anatomical, chemical, structural changes, emotional and etc. Lakini pia yule mwanaume by association, kwa sababu na yeye yes, najua most women don't like the concept of we are carrying, we are pregnant, because women are like, where is the baby? But they're going through these changes pamoja. So even the man, there are hormonal changes, there are emotional changes that are coming up. Now wanaume pia in that process can end up experiencing depression, anxiety, because of the fact that they're expecting a child.
The energies are like, you cannot say that person's energy is not affected. Yani, the chemistry.
Their entire life
is
changing.
Alafu also Nadia just gave me a lot of ammo now. I'm like, I also went through postpartum. My wife been hitting me with that. And I understand.
Don't use it anymore.
I've been going through it.
Come on, we were pregnant.
Yeah. Postpartum is hectic.
It is.
No, it's diagnosable, and I've worked with men who are going through that. It's just that wananyamaza kimya kwa sababu one, what's wrong with you? What are you going through? Like, aside from being the supporting actor in this movie,
what else are you?
What's happening? Lakini kiukweli ni kwamba unajikuta sasa mtu in that moment you're generating anxiety. Imagine your spouse has complications.
Yes.
Ule wasiwasi unayokujia sasa, Mungu wangu inakuaje? Hapo una wasiwasi mama, una wasiwasi na mtoto wangu kule inakuaje? Right? Anxiety can develop. Right? All the pressures, pesa, financially, emotionally, kumsupport mkeo ambaye has all these hormonal changes, the mood will change, the personality will change, and you're like,
and you have to, and when you get hit with that, you have to be like, I can't react.
Exactly.
I can't like shout back.
No, you can't.
I just need to show up and give you what you need.
Imagine
the amount of toll that takes. So muda mwingi mwanaume anayabeba tu, anayaswallow, anayameza, anayamweza. Sina outlet. You do not have spaces to say, this is what I'm going through, because mwanaume.
And have another man to tell you, I've been there.
Exactly.
This is how you can kind of cope.
We don't talk about it.
No.
There isn't, right? And you don't seek help because you don't know that this is actually a problem that I can get help for. Now you're just sitting there, you're like, I'm defaulted, something wrong with me. So now that's, the template actually wanaume mnajifunza kwamba whatever is not going right, you're not doing something right. You are the problem.
And then
you're a problem.
And then that becomes like a bigger hole.
Yes.
When you think about it.
Now I'll tell you what, yani kama kuna kitu that can really 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 break a man, especially a new dad, ni kuonyesha kwamba anashindwa kufanya majukumu yake. Like that is the worst thing that can, yani inapotokea kwamba umeshindwa kupata hela kumalizia bili hospitali.
Men, we're very functional. You know?
Yeah. Yani kama umeshindwa labda kupata hela kumalizia bili hospitali, it's gonna kill you.
Depressed, functionally
Yani
anxious.
sijui kuna mahitaji hapo nyumbani umeshindwa kuyakamilisha.
Yeah,
Especially kama mtoto amezaliwa upya. It's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you. Now, mmefika nyumbani, kuna trajectory ya maisha yanabadilika pale. Kuna sleepless nights.
yeah.
Now, again,
kuna
crying baby. Now, not to take anything away from women, guys. I gotta say this a lot. Lakini, we are biased. The conversation this is about men, right? Kuna kitu ambacho ile, you have to go to work. After ukimaliza paternity zako, serikali nadhani wanakupa 3. Ukijitahidi sana ofisi binafsi 5. Shout out to Ubongo tunapewa 10 working days where I work.
Yeah.
Paternity, it's game changer. We did with Steven Chimalo. Yeah, anapewa 3. But he works for Swedish Embassy.
Yeah, they get 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. I was like, my God, congratulations. But
Thought you had
now you gotta go back to work. Now, ukienda kazini, ukirudi nyumbani, being a man, you wanna be present. You gotta play with the baby.
You gotta get that energy.
You gotta
Show
get
up
that.
for your wife.
Ukirudi, ukitoka kazini, it doesn't matter what you went through or what you've gone through at work. Nyumbani, you have to come back with a positive energy. Kwa sababu
With energy.
Utaki kuweza matatizo yako ukaleta nyumbani. You can't.
The moment you hit that door, you have to drop whatever fight you were having with the world huko nje. You can't bring it across that.
You can't. I know watu ambao alikuwa mtu anafika nyumbani anakaa kwenye gari kama 10 minutes.
They need to unwind.
Yeah.
To yani prepare.
Scene 1, God, okay.
Zone in.
Again,
Put on your different mask.
It's not healthy. Kwa sababu it piles up. At some point, itatokea.
It will.
So now you do that. Unaingia mle ndani, with a fake smile and everything else because you're being a man. You do what you do. Nini. Unajitahidi umekuwa, lakini ukirudi nyumbani unakuta na mama naye ambaye amemwangalia mtoto siku nzima kwa amechoka. Kwa hiyo kwa umerudi, now she wants to rest.
Chukue mwanao.
Pass on the baton.
Sio mtoto wetu.
Mwanao. Pale mwanao kweli. Pale anaomba mchukue mwanao. No sweet. No option. Unabeba mwanao, right? Unabeba mwanao na nini mnahangaika pale. And the babies being babies, they sleep when they want to sleep.
Exactly.
So ukipata mtoto ambaye analala, unashukuru Mungu.
Unashukuru Mungu kwamba ana set time period hapa, ukijaribu kumlaza analala.
Unashukuru Mungu. Lakini kuna wale ambao usiku kama mchana. Wewe ukilala, yeye analia.
Anakusubiria.
Now, kwa sababu unajua mama usiku nao kama mama ananyonyesha mtoto, akimaliza pale inabidi umbebe mpaka achiue. Kwa hiyo inakuwa jukumu lako wewe. Now mind you, umeshatoka kazini umepigika siku nzima, umerudi pale unacheza naye, akiamka usiku lazima uanze kuzunguka naye.
Lazima udili.
Kulali, afu tena saa 12. You gotta be out on the move. Hiyo saa 12 tunashukuru Mungu.
Bro.
Kuna nyingine saa 11 you gotta be out and about. It takes a toll. And it inachosha.
It beats you up. It beats you up. Me, that first, because but when my wife had the C-section, so basically all you can do is give her the baby to breastfeed and take the baby. You have to be with the baby. There's so many times where before we got a crib, so I'm sleeping with little man. I'm sleeping in one position.
You cannot get too creative.
No, I can't. And as a child, at that little, infant age, they need a warmth. So this man is here. You have to sleep like this. I cannot move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now that he's older, I'm the night shift. Because my wife works a 9 to 5. I don't work a 9 to 5. Mi nashukuru Mungu that wa Tanzania tunasema self-employed, mjasiriamali.
Unapambana na hali.
And before, when she just started to go back to work, and also I give so much props to women who gave birth, went through that process, resting, and then they have to master up that energy to go back into that space, I give them so much props.
Dunia ikusubiri.
Yani they don't, so they have to go back and tackle that. So she works a 9 to 5. And at that time, I was I didn't have the businesses that I have now. I was an artist. As an artist, I do my comedy shows. I put on my own gigs. So my work is at night at that time. So during the day, I'm at home. She goes to work. So I'm with the baby during the day. And this is, since I work at night, we don't have a nanny yet. We don't have anybody. So it's me, dog. I wake up, feed the baby, change the baby. I'm taking care of the baby during the day, And for me, it went and went and went. But then I was getting frustrated because this is not, my brain is not set up to do that, in one way or another. So it was getting frustrating for me as to, I'm set up to be out there. Not to be in here and be the nurturing. I don't have this, So that was also getting crazy for me as a dude as to, I feel like I need to be out and hustling and bustling and, breaking my back because that's my job, provide and protect, But then, and then now that, we do have a nanny now and everything and all that, even though it's not a sleeping nanny. So at night, I'm still night shift, bro, you know what I mean? So right now, mtu hata akiniambia, Sadick, what would you choose? Between $1 billion or 7 days of just pure sleep? Like, bro, bring the sleep. Bring that sleep on any day of the week, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because there is that struggle, bro. You have to not sleep and then still wake up the next day and go and do what you have to do. Yeah. Come back home, face what you have to face with your partner. Yeah. Take that child and continue with that cycle. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's also, we do need spaces as men where we can sit and just have a chat, bro. Hey, bro, how are you dealing with this? I'm doing A, B, and C. And you're like, okay, I can take that and apply that to my life and kind of help me get along with that, But we've normalized the idea your struggles are your struggles.
Pambana
na hali yako. And the struggle is okay. Yeah. We've normalized that idea kwamba struggling is okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. It is okay to some sense, it builds character, but also to what?
It should not be your it should not be your normal day.
It shouldn't be your normal day. You are just struggling every day and you have nowhere to get any kind of, resolve or any kind of embetterment, if that's the word, just to get a little bit better and less struggle.
It's like you're constantly on fire. You are living like you are on fire all the time.
And we've normalized that.
Yeah. So I think for me, when I got my second child, kuwa kuna a lot of learnings. Ambazo niliziapply. Of course. Obvious. Kwanza moja, I knew exactly what to expect. Like,
now.
You know better, you do better.
Yeah.
So now I knew exactly what to expect. Through that whole process. Moja. Na vile now nilijua what is expected of me from my partner. Yani nilijua mke wangu bwana, kwa sababu ya kwanza kuna vitu vilizingua sana. Huyu wa pili naomba tuelewane kabisa kwamba expectation ni hizi. Let's pre-plan. So wa pili alikuja, I had that nilikuwa na hiyo understand. Vile mtoto wa pili ni mtoto ambaye yani you're not being overly worried kwa sababu now
they're like I know now.
No, you're right. Lakini kwa yule wa kwanza I remember one of the biggest issue ambayo mimi nilikuwa na struggle nayo is kwamba like you said, mimi I need to be out there. Yani kwa sababu you're pregnant, which is a beautiful thing. I understand. Lakini it doesn't mean nisiishi. Lakini kwa yeye it's more like, no, I need you here because I need to feel that when I support.
Yes.
And that is one thing ambacho I could not comprehend vizuri mwanzoni. And I think the struggle ya wanaume wengi sana, especially with the first child. Ni struggle ya wanaume wengi sana. But what is wrong? You're home. You're good.
Umekula.
You're good.
The water didn't break.
The water didn't break.
You're fine. What do you need me here for?
Matter of fact, let me give you the space.
Yeah, you
can have the whole house.
Walk around, exercise.
But what she needed is mtu ambaye anajua kwamba I can count on this person. Go up. And now, those are the kind of things we cannot put a price on.
Yeah.
Na the kind of things ambavyo you have to have empathy ili uweze kuelewa.
That's the word.
Yeah, you gotta have empathy.
Men need to learn that.
Yeah, we need to learn that as men. You need to have empathy ya kujua kwamba, matter of fact, you should know kwamba this woman is carrying mtoto ambaye ni wa kwangu mimi. Ni wa kwangu mimi. Kwa at least niwe na hiyo understanding. Sasa ubaya sasa. Tukikutana wanaume kama wanaume, ukianza kuelezea watu kwamba chojiga piga vyombo. Unaambia nenda nyumbani unajionyesha. Kwa hiyo kujionyesha bwana. Piga vyombo. Kweli kwani bila nionyesha.
Mpe na nini huyu?
Tunapotezana.
And it's that, ndio ile manhoodness ambayo tunananiliwa.
That we've learned.
Yeah.
So you go home, you got the baby.
Tell me, you talked about sleepless night and everything else, but tell me one major shift ambayo ilitokea kwako after getting the baby.
One major shift.
Or 2 or 3.
I think, having a child will test your relationship with your partner. That it will really test your relationship to your partner. And the shift I think that happened for me is learning to change. Learning change, basic. And having the process of change be swifter and with less obstacles ambazo najiwekea mwenyewe in the process of change. You know what I mean? Like, if your partner complains about, I need you to show up in this aspect, which means that you need to change. There's an aspect ambayo anakuomba badilika. Which funny, for some reason, women are the only ones who ask us to change. We never ask women to change.
You don't communicate your needs. We can't read your mind.
Look at how she countered that.
Some at least. Wanna communicate mahitaji yao.
Yes, they always tell you, this is what I want. This is what I need from you. This is how I need you to show up. This, there's a lot of that.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, okay, but I'm not doing anything but it, like you put so much instead of you just saying, bro, ukifanya hilo jambo unapungukiwa nini? Unapungukiwa nini?
You have one less things like this.
Talk. You have one less argument. You have one less obstacle.
More peace.
She's happier. You probably get to do more things because she's happier that you did that thing. You know what I mean? And I think when your partner also shows appreciation kwenye lile jambo la kwamba bwana nilikuomba kitu fulani the last 3 months and you've actually showed up, maybe not 100%, even if it's 70-80%, you've showed up. Kudos to you. Also as a man you go yeah.
Men are simple.
Thank you. We are very
just appreciate them.
Just appreciate.
Respect them, simple. Appreciate them.
Yani sisi hatunaga mambo mengi.
Feed them.
Bas, raba bellies kidogo, we are good.
Yeah. So Nadia, kuna kitu Sadick ameongea about relationships, especially with babies, right? Do you get complaints? I wouldn't say complaints, but do you speak to men ambao they're struggling with, ambao they've come to you wakionyesha kwamba wana struggle na partners wao bado kumpata watoto? And I wouldn't say what's the cause, and I don't want to put the blame on the babies. It will sound really, really bad.
Throw the kids away.
The credit to the babies.
It should be the credit to the baby.
Yeah. But why do you think that is for most cases? And is there best way out of it?
Moja, not a lot of men seek directly for that. Nadhani kwa sababu watu wengi bado they don't even realize kwamba the relationship inabadilika because you're caught up. It's like uko ndani ya tornado. You're not even realizing I'm inside a tornado. But utakuta couples wengi, like when in couples therapy perhaps, you trace the timeline. Unaangalia changamoto zenu za kwenye mahusiano yameanza wapi. Right? You find the biggest spike where expected a child, got a child. Kwa sababu one, your mahusiano yanabadilika because now it's not just me and you.
Exactly.
Now it's me, you, and this creature that we are responsible for.
It's me, girl.
You know? Alafu, remember, yule mama, physiologically, ubongo wake, kama ni Mungu, universe, science, God knows what, imeshabadilika. Number one is that one. So now it's not my husband's needs or this relationship. It is my child, whatever is left over from there. Ndo tunaanza kugawana sasa huku kwengine.
Preach.
Which is a lot. And I mean, it's little, but it's a lot.
Men are also just big babies. Like adults are just big babies, but men are your first child. Right? When you get married, you know.
It is, yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So now you are learning to share that affection, attention with your own creature, which makes it easier because it's like, at least it's mine.
Yeah.
Lakini the dynamics change. Sasa hapo ndo muda mwingi unaona couples, it either makes them or it breaks them. Hapo ndo unaona sasa hii ndoa inaanza kwenda upande huku, tunaanza the mental emotional separation starts before other stuff that happens in our communities happens. Or pale ndo we learn to be actually team players. Yani mna strengthen your bond through the fact that we have a shared responsibility.
Yeah.
Now we are a team against this creature or for this creature. Right? Rather than mwanangu unamfanyia, kwa sababu unakuta mama wengine mwanangu humfanyii, mwanangu anahitaji hivi. You are forgetting na yeye mwanae pia.
Yes.
So mwana wetu, mtoto wetu what do we do? What is best for our child?
How we handle it.
I think in that moment mkirealize or mkiregister kwamba okay, let's wanaita nini ile, let's regroup. Okay, the new challenge is there. Tunakumbushana kwamba hello, we are on the same team. If this is soccer, we are the Arsenal or we are the Manchester or we are the Liverpool, and that is the whatever, the Chelsea. We are not against one another. If mimi nikianza kuona wewe adui wangu yule ndo teammate wangu, utapambana kweli. You suffer because one day this child is 18. Not even 18. By 13, 14, you're no longer the coolest thing in their lives. Yeah. They don't even want to hang out with you.
Now you guys have to find each other again.
Exactly. And that's too late. That's like 14 years of like going like
then
this.
you realize, either you realize, I don't see this person the same way I used to see them. Or if you have those guts and that grit, let's now dig down and refine ourselves again.
It's crazy. So mkianzia pale, then you are setting your relationship up for success. Because now mnakumbushana kwamba cha muhimu ni sisi. Bila ya sisi, hichi kiduda hichi kisingekuwepo hapa. And I like to refer to it as a creature and a that. Kidogo, just to create that separation. Ni muhimu, lakini you need to remember that is only existing because we existed first.
Yeah, I think ulichongea, again, not to put women on the block, but in most cases, now, if nikiongea from a man's perspective, in most cases, wanaume wengi wanaona kwamba watoto wakishakuja tu, watoto wanakuwa center ya dunia ya mama. Rightly so, mama na mwanae na vitu kama hivyo, you cannot fault that. Lakini in most cases nakuwa hivyo, ndio hicho sasa mwanaume anaanza kuwa second, third or fourth option.
Yeah. And it's not supposed to be like...
Again, wanaume pia hawaongei kuhusu hiyo.
No, we don't.
How are you going to complain about somebody loving your child?
Exactly.
Do you know how weird that is?
You must just be grateful.
You must just sit, find a corner, chill, bro.
Yeah.
How on earth, Sadick, are you complaining that your wife loves your child?
But then also, as a couple, you also kind of have, both of you all have to understand, I don't know for everybody else, but for us, I felt like kuna a period where, kama Nadia anavyosema, we're gonna lose less of us. We're not gonna do as much of me and you as we could do before this child. Now a lot of the energy and a lot of effort and a lot of love and caring and nurturing goes into the child and not to each other. You know what I mean? Iyo lazima itapungua. And each of us has to find a space where we can sit and say, we're kind of sitting here for now. We're not forgetting kwamba we are partners. Hatusahau kwamba we have a relationship and each person is an individual who has their own, whatever's. But kuna ka period fulani ambayo that is less because it is directed to huyu mtoto, And a lot can happen during that period.
Yeah.
A lot can happen. You can fall apart. You
Yeah.
can start seeing your partner as, mbona huyu afanyi hivi, mbona huyu hayuko hivi, mbona huyu yuko hivi. But sometimes you have to regroup quickly and remind yourself,
Yes.
this is the situation we're in now.
Yeah. Because remember, you are the ones feeding the love into one another.
Yes.
That love that you're feeding into each other is the love that goes into that.
Unakwenda kule.
Because that, yes, you get love from your child, lakini you get that energy to be able to fully show up from your partner.
Yes.
Right? For those who still have their partners, right? So, ni muhimu yani I think I like to say, when you know something, you can take action. Ujue tena make it known kwamba physiologically, anatomically, there are all these changes that are making us focus our attention on this human being that we have given life to so that it can survive. Right? Your body, everything is forcing you, is driving you towards that.
Kabisa.
And so you need to override it. Because the body is primitive. Remember, we're not an animal. Right? These instincts are all animal instincts. Right? Lakini as humans, to may evolve, we went steps further. Kwamba we have logic, we have reasoning, we have ability to problem solve and think and plan. Vitu kama hivyo ambavyo wanyama hawana. No matter, you've seen animals reproduce and how they go about it. Right? So, remembering kwamba sisi, automatically, that is the drive to take care of this. Because it's important. Because without us, kale haka survive. Yeah. Lakini, for that to survive, because I am a human, I am evolved species, I need that intimacy, that connection, that love, that affection to be able to do this job effectively. Because you can do the job. The job will be done. And then mtoto akikua anakuja kumwona Nadia hapa.
My dad didn't do this, my mom didn't.
Exactly. But you did your job. And that's why parents sit there, you're ungrateful. No, you did your job, but you like put bugs of all sorts in the program.
Shakala bakala.
So don't just focus on doing the job. Your focus should be doing the job well.
Even as a man, you could be like, especially when you talk about intimacy, you come back home to your household and that type of intimacy can only come from your partner. It's only supposed to come from your partner. Unless, you have a side sandwich. Unless you have a
side sandwich. Side dish.
Like a sandwich that you bite on now and then ukonje. But that intimacy is only coming from your partner. So it's a way where you come home and you want that intimacy, but your partner just excuse me. Cold. Your partner just came from breastfeeding. Ameshinda kwenye hilo dera.
He's touched out.
Yani she's not in that space that you're in. Unajua
kazi yako ni kuwa patient.
Yani you have to just sit and be like, I understand where she is, the role that she's playing right now, and I have to play a role to support her.
Yeah.
And my role is, okay, what can I do for you now?
But and to communicate these needs.
But guys, that is easier said than done. Kwa sababu kumbuka tunamwongelea mwanaume wa Kitanzania ambaye hana all this information ambayo sisi tunakaa tunazungumza.
Ndio wanazipata leo.
That is why.
That's why we're doing this.
True. But they haven't gone through the introspective, and they haven't gone to therapy, and they haven't been exposed to the kind of information that we've been exposed to. Kwa hiyo kwake na kwa nguvu. Matter of fact, tunazungumzia mwanaume wa Kitanzania ambaye akipata mtoto washikaji kwanza wanamtoa nje kwenda kucelebrate baada ya kumwacha ale.
Kwa kweli. We need to change our culture.
Sadick kumpata mtoto, mwanangu njoo back.
Twende mwanangu
inabidi mfanyiane baby shower.
Drinks on me.
Baby shower muongee kwanza nyewe wanaume how are we dealing?
What you mean drinks on you? Leta maziwa.
Kwa kweli.
Leta diaper. You know what I mean? Kwa tunazungumzia mtu ambaye anaishi katika community ambayo haina hiyo understand. Na ndio maana unachosema ni kwamba we end up feeling a lot of things but we cannot speak. Kwa sababu I don't know if you're being entitled, I don't know kama expectations zetu ziko juu, I don't know if you're being selfish, lakini tunaona kama again mara nyingi tunaequate ubora wetu wanaume by how we can provide. And mara nyingi tunaamini kwamba mwanaume bora kabisa ni yule nyumba nzuri, gari nzuri.
And how you can persevere through struggle
without complaining, right? So most of the time ni kwamba kama I can do these things ambavyo katika dunia sasa ndio katika context yenu vinamuequate ni mwanaume bora kwamba shelter, clothes, you can eat na nini. Alafu wewe unashindwa kufanya yale ambayo mimi nategemea ufanye without me thinking kwamba there's a factor kwamba mtoto ameingia hapa ndio maana maybe you're not able to do some of the things.
Your role has switched kidogo.
Yani it brings up in build a lot of barriers za kwenda mbele.
Actually, Michael, I have a question for you.
Sure.
When
I get nervous.
You know?
I get nervous.
Even though it's Sadick
but go on.
I have a question for you because I see this happens. I don't know. Also, Nadia can help us with this from a psychological perspective, right? When your partner, before your partner has that first child, that's your partner. I'll see you. Y'all do all the everything. I'll see you. The moment she becomes a mother, kama kichwani kwa wanaume, it flips in our mind. I don't know, but like I've seen this and I've also experienced some of this. It flips in our head how we look at her now, you know? She's not that, yani, I don't know if that's
Ashakuwa
mama yani. You know, I'm not looking at her the same way. I'm not like, I don't think about, oh, I want to do this. Ashakuwa mama. How did you handle that?
I get nervous. But anyway, I think for me it took a while. It took a while, and it took me understanding kwamba she is my wife. She is my wife first. She's my. But it took a while. I'm not gonna say kwamba it's one of those things kwamba hey we had a baby kesho. No, it took a while, and it took me, and it took a mind shift from me. Kwanza kusema kwamba look, she's your wife first, and of course ndio mwili unabadilika na vitu kama hivyo. It also took me understanding kwamba haya mabadiliko is because she gave you a child. She gave you a child. Babu mtoto anaitwa Gianna Baruti.
Doesn't have somebody else's last name.
Ni jina kwa hiyo she did that for me. You know? So the least I could do ni kutokuwa ungrateful. Because I termed it kwamba being really, really ungrateful na really, really inconsiderate. Again, remember what I said earlier. Mimi maisha yangu yanaendelea. Like in this person, so the biggest wake up call, ni kwamba when my wife was pregnant for both first and second child, mi kari yangu iliendelea. Right? Kari yangu iliendelea, kazi zikaendelea na you know, maybe kari ikaendelea kuona vitu kama hivyo. Like literally, she puts everything on hold for at least 2 years. Kwa sababu ukumbuka, yani, it's just not a matter of 9 months. It's about after 9 months, that's when the journey starts.
That's when it starts.
You have exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. And then kuna kuumwa mtoto. Na mara nyingi, mtoto akiumwa, mama ndo anaenda, baba unaenda kusupport. Most of the time, right? You know, na vitu kama hivyo. Literally, she put her life on hold for 2 years. Kwa mtoto wa kwanza. And then she did it again for the second child. I mean, come on. Come on.
Sacrifice.
Come on. So at some point, conscious yako tunakwambia, oh, come on, man. The least you can do ni kuwa grateful. And don't be that ungrateful bastard.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. So that for me, that was the mind shift about I was going with. Na kujua kwamba Michael, the best you can do is show up, you know, still find that woman sexy, still find that woman beautiful, still do what you need.
Still pour into her.
Still pour into her. Yeah. Now, it's not going to be easy because hata yeye sasa hivi pia mambo yake yamebadilika. Na yeye priorities zake zimebadilika. Sababu sasa hivi priority ni mtoto wangu.
Yeah.
So
not sexy time.
It's not like a sexy. It's mtoto wangu kwa now. It took a mind shift for me kuweza kuelewa kwamba where she is at. Lakini vile kujua yani pia she has needs.
I have needs now. At this moment, I should be a man to step in and lead. Because that is what whole thing is all about. Na kama kuna kipimo cha wanaume kweli is in moments like that. In moments like that, you really gotta step up, you know, and lead.
And you know, that's I feel like that's a different aspect to being a man that doesn't involve power and strength.
It doesn't.
That men need to learn. You can't teach it.
Michael, no, it has nothing to do with that.
And you can't teach it.
You can't.
And you can't teach it. You have to have the desire to want to arrive to that place.
Yes.
And naturally, it'll help you arrive to that. But you have to want to.
Because the easy way out is not to work on it.
Thank you.
And to go out like
It's easy.
It's very easy.
It's easy not to work on it. Now, it's too much work.
Yeah.
It is.
Because look at it this way. Imagine you putting in effort and then somebody else focus on mtoto. Not on you. Focus on mtoto. Not on you. You're putting effort. Problem to an artist. Let's go for dinner. No. In your mind, you're like, come on. And then you have to do it again. Rejection.
But you have to put in that work.
So, easy way out ni kusema, you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't want to do this. It's easier.
It is.
It is.
And that's where, and hapo ndio wanaume wengi wanapo-opt.
Yeah.
A lot of men opt for that. I cannot, I understand the reasoning. I don't agree with it, but I understand the reasoning. For many, it's too much work. Now, again, wanaume, we hate rejection. Especially from our partner.
Coming from somebody
that you love. Come back, look, man, Nadia, let's go to dinner. No, I can't. Why? Tara, Kesha, Nadia, let's do dinner. No, I can't. And then, bado you're not doing anything to make it work. I'm like,
yes. Hello.
Kuna Asia at work who's looking at you.
Hey, sasa ukiwaza huko unalaumiwa, you putting in efforts, lakini unalaumiwa. Wakati uko nyumbani nje kuna mtu anaona
you know,
you might opt for an easy way out.
That is the easy way out.
It is. But then waga nasema kila siku saa nyingine kipimo cha wanaume is kuwa na values, kuwa na principles, and to stand on business. And standing on business is actually mean putting in work. At the time ambapo mambo ni magumu kweli.
That is when
you show up the
work. Yes, that's when you show up the most.
But ni muhimu pia for women, whoever wanasikiliza, kujua kwamba relationships are two-way process. Yani you cannot have a relationship with yourself. Like a two-people relationship, me and I'm putting all the effort. It cannot, it's not sustainable, right? So ni muhimu also for as women kuregister kwamba okay, ndio tuna mtoto lakini bado mahusiano yetu lazima, kwa sababu tusizoee tu kulalamika baadaye huyu wanaume ametoka nje. Kwa nini ametoka nje? It's actually quite an expensive exercise.
It is.
You know, you're now having to invest in someone that and it's an investment. You are not probably, you're getting some returns, but it is not a solid investment. Right? So tusizoee tu kusubiri mpaka unaona mume wangu anananili huko as long mimi nalinda mali na whatever kwa ajili ya mtoto wangu. Hiyo ndo template ya wanawake wa Kitanzania. Tumekuwa tunasikia hivyo, ndo tunakuwa tunaendeleza hivyo, and hopefully tusiendeleze going forward. Lakini we need to also take responsibility. Wanawake mnabidi mchukue majukumu ya the role that you are playing in this. Not to place blame on women, lakini things go south not because of just one person. Kuna mlolongo wa vitu vilikuwa vinaenda mpaka mmoja akasema let me exit. Right? So people, we need to be accountable to our nonsense. We need to be accountable and hold each other accountable. And also we need to play our part. Kama hichi ni kitu unakiona ni cha muhimu kwangu, ndoa yangu ni muhimu kwangu,
communicate.
Mtoto wako asiwe sababu ambayo wewe unaenda kuvunja ndoa yako.
100%.
And you're neglecting your responsibilities ambazo mbele ya Mungu mlisimama pale mkasema I vow to this and that and that and that. Hamna pale kwenye vow imesema when I get a child I cease to commit to this vow. No way, hata Mungu hajawahi kuomba useme hivyo.
They might be reduced, But also, I feel like also Evo pia, both people, you need to communicate hilo swala.
Yeah.
Kwamba I know
we're changing, kuna majukumu yamebadilika sasa hivi, lakini
Guys, unajua kwanza kabisa
priorities.
Some priorities. Kwanza kabisa nimeruka mbali. You gotta understand. Sisi hatuna culture ya kusema okay, let's have a baby now.
Tunabuba.
Uzazi wa mpango watu.
Sisi ni culture. Oh, snap.
We're pregnant.
Test imekuja hapo tunaposti. Sasa. Haya, tunafanyaje?
Ndio maana Mungu kawapa miezi 9. Hapo ndo mwanzo kuplan.
What you tunafanya? Tunafanya. Sasa kutokana na tuongea hilo swala before hatujapata mtoto, ndio maana inakuwa very difficult kuwa na proper conversation when the baby comes in a proper setting. I remember vividly. So me and my wife got married in 2014, right? Our first child was born in 2016. Okay. Sisi tulikubaliana kwamba we're going to take a little bit of time. Now by the time we wanted to have a baby, we were like, okay, let's have a baby, right? It's an ideal situation. But then we talked about having a baby. We didn't talk about ile miezi 9 itakuwa. And honestly, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Naturally. Or even you didn't sit down with somebody as a professional to
yes,
tell this is what you're going to expect.
This is what you're going to expect.
You can't have a conversation about something you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is the thing though. Naturally, I should have spoken to my brother. I should have spoken to my uncle. I should have spoken. Yeah, all this
stuff. It would be nice. Not should have. It would have been nice. Imagine what if you don't have that brother or that uncle or that person.
I agree.
So we can't rely on that. It's beautiful concept. Uzazi wa mpango. Lakini nachokiogopa ni saa ingine tutasema tukupangia ndio maana, so we are cutting ourselves that slack. That we didn't plan, so it's okay. No. When it happens, that is the time.
That
the minute you realize, okay, there is a creature growing inside of you, boom. Let's plan.
Yeah.
You know? Na uzuri wa sasa hivi we have all the information, knowledge on our fingertips.
We are lazy.
There's so many people like in my field of work, especially like in the creative field. I always tell somebody, bro, you have a smartphone. I don't get a smartphone. I'm like, okay. In a week, how much do you spend on internet? So you have that. Okay, so dedicate 1,000 shillings to just learning. Learn what you want to learn. Learn what you need to learn, you know? It's the same thing now. Everything equal.
It's there.
If you have a question, just ask Google, bro. Ask ChatGPT. Kuna AI these days. You get that information. And these days, especially with like platforms like TikTok, where you have people giving personal experiences. They share their journeys and things like that. You find so much knowledge kutoka huko. For me, I went through a phase, like Nadia said, you can't talk about what you don't know. You can't be kitu ambacho hujui. The beginning aspect of after the 9 months, the baby is here, you know, now our relationship has changed. It's no longer the same anymore, you know what I mean? And now you kind of have to adapt to the situation at hand. Also, and there was things that my wife was telling me, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not being like this, I need this from, but I'm like, but I'm doing this. Yeah, but it's not that. You know what I mean?
And you might like, what is wrong with
what I'm doing? But I'm doing this, you know? And I'm like, but I'm showing up like this, I'm providing, I'm doing this. She's like, yes, I get that, I understand that. That's all well and good, but I need you to show up for me like this. You know what I mean? And I couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't understand what it's like. It's almost like she was talking a different language. You know, I'm like, huh? Because now, you know, the child has come and things have changed and you have to kind of adapt. But I don't know because you just don't know. You know, so it's one of those things where I also had to like kind of do a lot of research and just go and look at different dudes, you know, trying to find channels of, you know, fatherhood and relationships. And I found this great white guy, forget the title of his face. Great white dude.
You had to say white guy.
White
Gotta
dude
give him
guys.
great white dude. Because also for some reason, I don't know. Maybe I haven't found. But those are also, maybe I'm just very like, what's the word? Pan-African and just pro-black and all that stuff. So I really connect more to content when it's coming from somebody that looks like me, you know, when I'm looking on screen. And there's so much less of that, but we understand how that goes with men, and then especially men of color and whatnot. But yeah, I found this dude and he's just breaking it down so well, you know? And it was just like in that aspect, he's like, yeah, bro, your needs are not gonna be met, you know? This is gonna happen. That is going to happen. You can cope with it by trying this and this and this. And then kidogo, you know, just hearing another man speak about it and break it down. Kidogo, you know, I start to understand, okay, maybe that's what she needs. Maybe this is how I can show up for her like that, you know. And then you learn kidogo, but it takes effort. It takes for you to actually want to do the work. Like you say, you have to want to do the work and say, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Not only that, I think what is great with what you've said, moja, ikakufanya uende kwamba whatever it is that you're feeling, you're not weird.
You know?
Yeah.
Kwa sababu, sometimes with a person say, I want to show up like this, and you're like, there's nothing wrong that I've been doing. Or, I don't feel like what I've been doing is wrong.
Like I've been feeling
Then it might end up making you feel like, why is something wrong with me? Why
Very much.
Yeah,
so.
It's and this is why a lot of men now wanarudi kwenye ile they pull back because they feel like I'm trying. But
I'm trying.
I'm trying. You don't think I'm trying.
You don't see my efforts.
Yeah.
And that's the fault of sometimes the woman. Kwa sababu one thing we do in
Leo upo
couples,
vizuri.
Yani leo Nadia.
no whoever, but we're in couples therapy. Kitu cha muhimu tunachoona ni the way we communicate. Unaona kama what Sadick mentioned is that when you said but I'm doing this, later is when you say yes unafanya hivyo ndio but nataka 1 2 3. It is very, as humans, we are very easy. We are easy creatures to be influenced. If I come at you and say, my love, you've been doing 1 2 3, I really appreciate you. Would you also consider doing 1 2 3? Tayari nimesha kuboost.
Of course.
I have empowered you. I have brought you up. I have increased your energy, fed you some love, and then I bring my request. It is so much. Try it on anyone. Try first, give someone a compliment. When someone is trying to manipulate you, they will compliment you, and then can you do me this favor? You will do it.
It's what kids do.
And you know,
Exactly.
as
We are
It's what
smart.
kids do.
We lose that
talking about
intelligence as we grow.
It's what kids do.
you see, but what Nadia said, that aspect, for me, not only did I have to go and find how to show off for, but I had to overcome the fact that
You overcome
I
that
did
barrier.
something she didn't notice. She just said, yeah, you did it.
Like brushed off.
Yeah, like brushed.
Which is
First,
an
you have
effort.
to overcome that as well as a man.
Yeah.
Because some men will, ugomvi utakuwa hapo.
Ugomvi
Ndio.
unaanzia hapo.
And that's what they say. Basi na hiyo sifanye. And you take away now the things that you are doing. They're not even seeing.
Yeah.
Kabisa.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
They take it away.
I had to be like,
Utaona huna shukrani.
No, anakuambia nitakupa sababu ya compliment.
Alafu sasa nikwambie kitu kuhusu wanaume. Anaweza asikwambie nitakupa sababu ya complain lakini anakuonyesha.
Yes.
Na kukuonyesha ndio sifanyi.
Sifanyi kabisa.
Sifanyi hiki unachotaka.
You know?
Na hata nilichokuwa nafanya mwanzo pia sifanyi.
Yani,
Exactly. And
it
we
is
don't want to-
frustrating.
It is.
Yeah. That's the harder route.
It's
Taking it and
frustrating.
saying, let me find a way, let me find. Because the easy, lazy route is to just say,
Pull
you know
back,
what?
yeah, and just, basi.
And that's an unhealed person. Lakini you can make life so much easier by being efficient communicators. Kwamba, I appreciate 1 2 3 4 5. I feel like you could, the dishes, you could help me with them. Sometimes I appreciate my love that you remove your plate off of the table and put it on the sink. It would be nice if you also washed it. Nimesha ku appreciate.
It's not as heavy, yeah.
It's not easy to do. It's simple, but it sorts you out.
Ila ukianza kusema kila siku naacha tu sahani zako hata
Nakwambia kila
kidogo.
siku.
Na sasa kwenye meza sito.
Tunaacha kwenye carpet.
We just need to master this. It's small things. Na utakuta hata usingehitaji kwenda kumtafuta mtu online. If it would have been
The
that approach.
communication, yes.
Because tell you, and I communicate needs, lakini just the way, I went about communicating it is not effective.
And for me to actually, now that Nadia says it, no matter tunasema jamani wanaume go see a psychiatrist. For her to, now that I'm comprehending the fact that I had to kind of like climb over a hill to get to that mountain. I had to look past the fact that no, you are showing up. As much as you said, yeah, but no, you are showing up. So don't be mad. Keep this effort. Yani, sustain this.
Don't lose it.
Don't lose it. But add now another effort.
It's double the work.
Unajua mnaongea kitu kama utani na ninacheka. Lakini unajua for lack of a better word, kweli wanaume ni kama watoto.
Of course.
And I'm saying this kwa sababu I tell you what, mimi my firstborn akitaka kitu kutoka kwangu lazima atalitengeneza. Anaanza Daddy, I love you. Daddy, you're my favorite. Daddy, actually, of course, najua anataka, lakini it kind of feel good.
I'm like,
yani tayari psychologically amesha kuweka in line with what she wants.
And I feel good. Na kwa kiomba ni mwanzake 90% anapata.
Unapata.
90% anapata.
Because you want to reinforce the behavior. To make me feel good.
It's not about me spending money on you. It's about how you make me feel. And I feel good.
Yeah.
Right? And I think a lot of time, ego is the kill of a lot of things. I think ukikutana na watu ambao both, kila mtu ana ego. Everybody has it. Sema tu wengine wanaweza kuitem zaidi, wengine wengine wanaweza kusema achana nayo na vitu kama hivyo. Lakini inapofika swala la communicate vizuri, I feel like this is the part ambayo you need to put your ego to the side. Like what you said ya kumwambia mtu, you know what, I appreciate na trust her.
It doesn't even take away from your ego, just by the way.
It costs you nothing. Now, in an ideal world, inabidi iwe hivyo.
Yes.
Lakini katika dunia ya mahusiano ambayo saa nyingine ambayo saa nyingine emotional intelligence iko chini, ni mtu atakapokuambia hivi unashindwa hata kutoa sahani yako.
Those people just need to be in therapy.
Mtu mzima umekula. Unashindwa kutoa sahani yako. Kwa unataka mimi nikufanyie kila kitu. Ukishasema nikufanyie kila kitu, in my mind I'm like, wewe ufanye kila kitu. Mbona mimi nafanya hivi?
And then that's where it starts.
And then things pile up. And
then you are losing focus.
Yes.
Of what is important.
Na mwisho sasa. Haiwi tena kuhusu sahani.
No.
Inaingia mambo mengine kibao. Wakati ingekuwa tu mpenzi wangu, ukitoa sahani hapo nita appreciate kweli.
Yani just to start with the word mpenzi wangu.
Usha-disarm.
Kabisa usha-disarm yani. Hamna ugomvi tena.
Life is simple. We complicate life. I don't know.
We are competitive. Kwa
ndio maana siku hizi I've learned the word yani before like criticism. The first thing I add is my love. And then criticism.
Feedback.
Yani kwanza tunaanza.
Yes. Now that inakuwa sio criticism, inakuwa feedback.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you're telling her you're wrong here. You don't know how to do this. You know? It's more of
kwa sababu nature ya binadamu kwanza sitaki unione mimi kama mjinga. Sitaki unione mimi kama mtoto. Kiasi kwamba you think unaweza kuongea na mimi namna moja
hata mtoto hataki kuongeleshwa hivyo. Hata mtoto hatoi sahani kuongeleshwa hivyo.
Ikishafikia hapo kwa nini mimi mjinga kutokutoa sahani? Inawezekana ilikuwa ni bahati mbaya.
Sasa ushani peleka huko. So
Sadick, this conversation is good with video for an hour and a half.
Are you serious?
So, I want to do a bit of quick fire questions.
Sure.
Right? Best advice you've ever got about parenting?
Best advice that I've ever gotten about parenting. Sure. Yani nitakuwa very honest kwa kweli. I can't think of the best advice that I've ever gotten about parenting because again, I'm a first-time parent. I'm doing a lot of this as it goes, Even now, like I'm still there's parts where your child doesn't want to eat, maraniichi. You're constantly trying to figure out like what's going. I'm sure you do better with your second child because you know.
Are you one of those parents about the same? I will never give my kids gadgets.
Bro, nikiamka asubuhi, Miss Rachel, shika. I need 30 more minutes of sleep. Just watch Miss Rachel for now. You know?
Are you one of those parents before? My kids will never watch gadgets.
Oh yeah, me and my wife, we had that
stuff
conversation.
Is crack, by the way,
yes,
it's like cocaine.
It is.
It is addictive. If you
So,
can avoid it, try.
We're trying our best, Kokweli, for now. We're trying our very best. He will only watch my wife leaves for work before me, so I'm still in bed. So I need that extra 30 minutes when she leaves. So I just put, hey, Miss Rachel, just do your thing. Yeah, and in the evening, when we're getting him ready for bed, just before, so he eat, wind down, bed. So that's the only time. So we're trying to limit screen time. But I think maybe just the best advice I can give, rather, is to show up and do the work.
Yeah.
Worst advice you've ever got?
Worst advice I've ever gotten.
It must be from the boys. It's always the boys.
Worst advice I've ever gotten about parenting. Yeah, I think also it's just the screen time. A lot of people are just like, yeah, let them watch and then, you can do other things. And then, but I know what that does also, especially babies who are trying to talk and things like that.
But that is not the worst advice. You can really do other things. It's not like they're lying to you.
You can really do other things. But just for your
But it's
child's
not
development,
yeah, for your
it's
child.
the
It's
worst
not.
thing you can give them. But you can't do a lot of things during that time.
One word to describe your child.
One word to describe my child. Oh man, I don't think I can come up with one word. Energetic. This man is charming, handsome. He's a ladies' man. He's a child, but he's a ladies' man. I think he gets this from my dad. I swear to God, he gets this from my dad. I've seen my dad as an older man around like colleagues, like women, and they get so flat. I'm like, woman, do you realize you're not a teen anymore? This is another grown man, So my child would be around like other ladies, older women, and they're just like, oh my God, he's so cute. And he adds the charm, like he throws it in there 100 times, and he's doing the giggles and whatnot.
Oh boy.
But his playful, energetic is amazing, man.
Oh man. That's amazing. If you were to do it again, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? I would pay more attention during the 9 months, attend to her more, be way more prepared with the second, getting all the necessities that the kid needs, get the crib, get what, do the best you can in that aspect, Now, next time,
tunatransfer pesa mkubwa tunachoka kwa mdogo.
more patience and more preparation is what I would do it, or just not do it again.
If there's one thing about I used to find it funny is my wife alikuwa ananunulia watoto wake nguo nyingi. Sasa anaona zinakuwa nyingi sana. Kwa nyingine anaziweka kwenye bag. And then
Yeah.
baadaye anakuja kusahau.
And then buy
They grew out
more.
of it.
And then yeah, they grew out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the point? Ununua nguo watu. Uone mimi nachukua nguo zangu natoka kwenye mabegi. Nguo zangu sio nyingi lakini zote ziko hapa. Anyways, Nadia, let me start with my guy here. So as we're winding up, right? It has been a great conversation, but as we're winding up, if mtu ameamua kutusikiliza and then you want them to leave with a takeaway, one key takeaway, what would that be for you?
Men, find a safe space for yourselves. Sisi kama wa Tanzania, mental health has only been something that's come up recently. As of the recent years, it has not always been there. It's still not largely part of our communities. But let's seek it more. Kwa sababu sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Hujui kile unachokipitia kama hujui bro. For wewe, it might have been part of your life forever. Unachukulia fresh kwamba you're living with it. You've even found coping mechanisms. They could be healthy, they could be unhealthy. But seek to find out more about yourself. Yani, you'll never know what you might find and what that can do for you moving forward as a human being.
Amazing. Nadia, what would that be?
Have compassion for your experience. Yani, don't go straight to, I should be able to do 1, 2, 3. Go first to, I see you. We are trying. It's hard. Okay, this is the way we want to show up. It's only possible once we have the compassion. Compassion allows you space to see how you want to be, but pia without invalidating that it's hard, that sijui, that sijafunzwa, that maybe nimefunzwa sivyo, right? So having compassion for ourselves first. That's the only way also you'll feel compassion for your partner who's doing this with you. Lakini pia itawasaidia kutafuta the right solutions. So I know it goes against the automatic reaction. Lakini train yourself to first have compassion. Hata kama una hasira, hata kama you didn't show up, hata kama just first have compassion for yourself. And then doing the work
is the shortcut.
There's no other way.
Okay. Gotcha. Sadick, Kwanza, okay, I did an introduction. Kasema tu Sadick, I assumed.
I am an A-list.
Yeah.
No,
but
sir.
I know you. So Sadick is a comedian. It's that is your full-time job. you have the fun.
Comedy used to be my full-time job.
Okay.
Comedy used to
You
be
still
my full-time.
perform?
I still perform, and I feel like I need to do like a Cat Williams podcast where I let it all out.
You have a lot to say.
In that space, there's a lot that's been happening. But comedy is still something that I do. I've been fortunate enough to venture out and do other things. I'm in tourism. I'm in mining. I'm going now into production, like content and film production. So I'm very fortunate and I'm blessed to have to be in those spaces.
Amazing. See, I was also about to say comedian. Kumbe, he's a retired comedian.
Semi-retired.
Semi-retired. Yeah. So Sadick Ali, his Instagram account is I am Sadick Ali.
Yes, at I am Sadick Ali.
I remember. I mean, when I follow Instagram, I am Sadick Ali. So again, if you wanna, get in touch with him, then if you hit me up either on Instagram or Twitter or account Zetamen, Twitter/X, or account Zetamen the podcast, then definitely I can link you up, my guy.
My brother, thank you so much for having me.
It's always good to have you.
Always good to be here.
You see, what I enjoy is we do have some serious conversations, but
with some humor.
It's I mean,
we have to take ourselves lightly. Life is hard enough.
Mind you, this whole sit down, me and Michael, we met at night.
Yes.
Nje supermarket. Yes. He went to get water
As a by the
over
way.
fight with his wife. And I am there getting drinks over a thing with my wife. And we just were like, we need to sit down and have a talk.
I was like, my guy, we met at the supermarket thing. I was like, my guy, these are the kind of things we need to speak about as men. So I appreciate this has been a very good conversation.
Awesome,
yeah.
man.
So
@made the podcast on X/Twitter, @made the podcast on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes.
@made the podcast on TikTok. Yes, you're on TikTok.
Code.
Nice. I'm a follow.
And Facebook too. We're still on Facebook.
Everywhere.
Yeah, we're old school yet we're new school. We are everywhere. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Lakini vile share our podcast. Give us a like, give us a shout. Follow our social media pages, man, the podcast on Twitter and Instagram. And kama unataka kuwasiliana na Nadia ni @Mind Matters TZ. Mind Matters TZ. There's the link kwenye bio ambayo inakupeleka kwenye website yake. And I love Nadia's process kwa sababu it's more like ana filter ujue kama kweli una shida naye. Yaani ana questionnaire anakuuliza. Mpaka ukifika mwisho ujue kama uko serious. Usije ukatoka tuko unaingia. So till next time guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.
You're listening to With Men, the podcast.